Hello, this is Tomorrow 1111 doing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile in response to axtyler's Black Garden competitive deck challenge. Basically the aim of this deck is to get Time Eater, Terminal World, Black Garden, and another White Rabbit to the field in one turn, maybe 2 turns if you can stall with the Time Eater. Basically the idea is summon Time Eater and basically end and try and stall for a turn, maybe with Lance or just something in general. And then next turn activate Terminal World, Black Garden, and then normal summon another White Rabbit. Basically they will generate one counter with Black Garden that you can run over with Time Eater, then they lose their main phase 1 of the next turn. Then with Terminal World they lose their main phase 2, so they can only enter their battle phase, they can't play any more cards or summon any more monsters. Basically there are 2 ways that you in the meta that can easily get out of this lock. Basically if they run triple MST and they hit the Terminal World, they get their main phase 2 because they can activate the MST during their standby phase, or an effect veiler, which basically means they can get their main phase 1 and their battle phase back, but they still lose out on their main phase 2. Basically the rest of the deck is about Monarch control. Basically battle faders to make sure you don't take any battle damage. Basically Gaius because it's the best Monarch out there. Dandy because of the tokens it generates, along with Foolish Burial, which can also target Plague Spreader. Basically Delg the Dark Monarch has been put in here because of Elusive Snatch. Basically Elusive Snatch gains the same level, attribute and type as the monster it's tribute summoned for, which means you can summon a Maggie Magician with basically 1 summon, 1 cost, and Maggie Magician's effect is awesome. Another White Rabbit is basically the token generator under Black Garden for Time Eater. Just a Comfort is a really interesting card. You can special summon it basically in attack mode and it has no cost. If it does manage to stay on the field for a turn, you can bounce a card back to their hand. But that's generally tribute fodder for Caius, Time Eater and Delg. Marshmallow everyone knows, so it just stalls. Metallion the Time Lord. It can be normal summoned if you control no monsters. It can't be destroyed by battle or by card effect once it's on the field. And when it attacks it can return all of the monsters on the field back to the player's hand. So basically that clears the field. So next turn you can maybe set Marshmallow on, set something else to stall, and basically set up shop for a new turn. Notoria Cherries are basically my new Tengus. Basically if they're destroyed by your opponent's battle by battle or by card effect, you can summon the other 2. And they are level 1 tuners, so that gives you access to things like Formula through Just a Comfort, Arm the Arm through another White Rabbit, and also with Monarchs 2 7s. And it can eventually get shooting. I've only done it once and I still lost. Basically Oracle of the Sun is basically the same as Just a Comfits and Cyber Dragons. It's basically just their special summon, you contribute it off in the same turn, or when using Plague Spreader you are given access to Arcanite Magician. Basically Sangan is able to search out like 90% of the decks, it can only not hit the tributes. DN hates me. As I was saying before, Sangan hits pretty much everything in the deck other than the monarchs themselves. Basically, Black Garden, if monsters normal summoned or special summoned, your opponent its attack gets halved, your opponent gets a token. You can destroy all tokens on the field and all other plants. Special summon something of the same attack. So say for example there are 3 tokens out in the field, you can destroy them and you get to special summon a monarch. So Caius, Delg, you'll be able to banish more things. Illusion Snatch, if worse comes to worse and it's the only thing in the grave. Basically we've got Staples, Dark Hole, a Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn. You have Foolish, basically to get rid of Plague Spreader and Dandy, or anything else specific you need in the grave. Say for example you haven't been through a Monarch but you've got enough to use the Black Garden combo. You've got Forbidden Lances. Basically these are if there's something stronger on the field and Time Eater is your only option. And basically if they attack into it, Chain Lance, or Lance can also be used to defend something higher when it's being summoned. Basically Terminal Weld locks out both players' main phase 2s. So basically they've got to play everything in main phase 1, but they can't do that if Time Eater's there. And basically as I don't run any traps, I am running Double Decree. I have considered ditching these 2 and maybe running a Treacherous Trap Hole and a second MST. Still kind of testing, but I am a big fan of Treacherous Trap Hole. Other things that I've taken in and out of the deck: second Battalion, basically to stall another turn. Basically Psychic Shockwave, activate only when your opponent activates a trap card, discard a spell or trap card, special summon 1 level 6 Dark Machine type monster from your deck. Basically that would hit Jinzo, which is also in the side, and it hits Time Eaters as well. I have tested this, but the decks I've been going against haven't been running enough traps for that really to be viable. So I will side it into a deck that is trap heavy but isn't offensive trap heavy, maybe defensive trap heavy. So instead of Mirror Force, more maybe Chains or something along them lines. Basically extra deck is kind of Stapley, Catastar, Arcanite Magician because you can do that through Oracle of the Sun and Plague Spreader. Armiarm because that's the easiest level to make. Black Rose just because it's there. Same with Brognac and Scrap Dragon. Formula Synchron can be made in 1 turn with a Just Confit and a Neutralia Cherries. Then you've got Stardust and Shooting Star Dragon. I was considering using a Starlit Road, basically to try and speed up that play into shooting. I haven't really got around to using it. I'm not a big fan of it. There's only ever really 2, maybe 3 cards in your opponent's deck that will trigger it. Mainly Dark Hole, Heavy Storm. As I'm using Illusion Snatch in this deck, it can copy the levels of any tributed monster. They're all level 6, so I got using Insector Beetle, Maggie Magician Girl, and Photon Strike Bowser. Basically just the decent rank 6s. Then I can make 3s reasonably easy using Sangan in Arbor. Actually just Sangan in an Arbor, but yeah. I'm a big fan of Acid Golem and Destruction, but it generally doesn't stay on the field long enough to lose its materials. So it's literally just attack once, bait out some kind of trap of theirs, and basically go again ready for the next turn, because that really doesn't take that much to make. Galaxy Queen is reasonably easy to summon, like Jester Comfort, Neutral Your Cherries, Battle Fader. So say for example, I can special summon a Fader during my opponent's battle phase, special summon the Jester Comfort from the hand, and then if I have them on, then I can normal summon the Cherries, go into Galaxy Queen, and pretty much stall for the next 3 turns. So it has win conditions outside of the time eater lock, but the time eater lock is the main way that I've won so far. So this is Tomorrow 1111 signing off.